wonder, does anybody click maybe?
Yeah, people do. Good morning, everyone. This is day 4 of our Google Drive summary, or Google Drive learning. Today we're going to do a summary. We're going to watch one video and then do a summary. Let's see.
Jimmy likes the videos.
Huh?
Jimmy likes the videos.
Well, the videos are good. So, but before we get into watching the video and then doing the summary, we'll just summarize the summary. But before summarizing the summary, we have some housekeeping things. Sherry Kennedy accomplished something today that's a good thing for the school, a good start, and that is that today we have the courts sentencing 3 people, 3 youth offenders to come to school here in Las Vegas. So that is a very big accomplishment. This day will go down in history. This is probably the only school in the state where people are sentenced to go to school instead of going to jail. And this could be the start of changing how the criminal justice system works here. So instead of sending people who need to go to school to prison, we're lucky that we got them, or Sherry got them sentenced to come to school to learn and hopefully then avoid prison, because once you start down that path, it's very hard to break the chains of recidivism, especially in California. So the school's plan is to do it here in Las Vegas, get the program worked out, and then bring it to other parts of the country and open campuses in the top 20 major markets. So Sherry's to be congratulated, as are Rose, Crystal, Stephanie, all the staff there, and all of our students, because without the students there would be no school. And everyone makes it possible. So thank you, and today should go down as a historic day. Okay, Google Drive. What do we know about Google Drive? Who's there today in Santa Fe Springs? I can contribute one thing about Google Drive.
Somebody, one thing about Google Drive.
Designed to work with other Google apps.
Say that again?
Designed to work with other Google apps.
Right. Great. Who was that? Victoria?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Good. It's designed to work with other Google apps. Now, so the good news is at least one person's looking at the notes for today's class.
Yeah.
What's another thing Santa Fe Springs, and then we'll get something in Long Beach, someone in Long Beach. What's another thing we learned about Google Drive?
Say it. Will you say it?
Ability to create documents.
You have to speak loudly there, because I guess the microphone isn't working well.
Good. Ability to create documents.
She said Maria said the ability to create documents.
Exactly. Okay, that's a good one. All right, Stephanie, do you have one? Who's next in California? And then we'll come to Fred.
Go ahead.
What do you got, Stephanie?
Sharing and collaborating Google Docs.
Okay, good. Sharing and collaborating. Okay, Fred, your turn.
And you can access it from anywhere that they got internet.
Good. Access it from anywhere. Okay, does anybody have anything else? Just shout it out if you do.
Excellent control of revisions.
Okay. Okay.
15 gigabytes.
You can work on it, shared
Okay.
work.
Good. So the point is, there's a lot. And what I want to stress is this is a pure cloud app. Email was before the cloud. It's not really a pure cloud app in terms of what the cloud is. This is a pure cloud app. It works with all of the other Google apps. It is a very powerful tool, something that you need to have in your toolbox when you go to your next place, but also for your personal life. It's a great place to store copies of important documents that you need. And Again, in terms of security, just make sure you have a good password and you don't have it written down somewhere. You can think of the first line of a poem. No one is going to guess that. Or something really long that people aren't going to be able to guess. If you're worried about somebody hacking into your account, just don't write down your password and have it a very long password that no one will guess. And the first line of a poem or the title of a song or a book or a movie, anything like that is a very long password. It's very hard for people to guess what those are. Okay? So today our video is, what's the video called?
It's Google Drive 6 features and make it awesome.
Yeah, 6 things that make Google Drive awesome. So let's watch that, then we'll come back and answer any questions that anybody has to make sure we know it. And I especially want to talk about collaborating and forms, and then anything else that we come up with on this video. Are there any questions? Anybody have anything they want to talk about in California? Crystal or Stephanie?
No, we're fine in Long Beach.
We're fine in Santa Fe Springs.
Okay, great. Oh, Stephanie?
Yes.
FYI,
Okay.
Brad Stovall is going to be working out of there.
Oh, okay.
You gonna be living there?
Okay, no, he's not going to be living there. Okay, we have to make sure he's not going to be living there. But he's going to be working on the People of the Abyss and SPQR. So he's supposed to call in today around 1, and we'll try to patch you in at a certain time, Stephanie, on a hangout. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so let's watch the video, and then we'll come back to this when it's over.
No, it didn't though.
Well, if you, okay, welcome back in
Oh,
California.
I'm sorry.
Lights, please. If you have multiple tabs open of the same thing, it doesn't make it easy for Google to know which one you're to save.
Yeah.
But if you,
I didn't open any tabs.
well, you had to have a tab open
You had
to work
I
on it.
had one tab open.
Okay. So,
Anyways.
okay, California, are you back and ready?
We're here in Long Beach.
We're good. We're ready.
Okay, great. So what did we learn from that video? Victoria, why don't you start?
What do you like in the video?
That is extension of Chrome.
What'd she say? Crystal?
Extension of Chrome.
It has a Chrome extension.
Okay, yeah. Now why don't we go download that? So what's the crowd? How do we go about doing that? So let me get my screen shared, and then you can talk me through it.
They don't have to log in.
It's called app search, right?
Okay, so where do I go first?
Let's get to your form.
To the 3 bars.
Okay, go to the 3 bars over here on the right
Oh, really?
on Chrome. So we got to go to Chrome.
So we go to Chrome first,
Yes.
or we go to the 3 bars?
No.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you don't go to the apps?
Well,
Just close up.
hold on. Okay, so you're running in Chrome. It's already in Chrome.
Right.
So you go to the 3 bars up here in the upper right
Click on it.
and click on those. Then what do we do?
Settings.
Settings. Okay.
Extensions on the far left.
So we
Okay,
go,
then we go to extensions, right?
Yes.
we go to settings first?
Yep.
Extensions. You got it.
I'm trying to find out.
Okay, now what?
Settings up there.
Get more extensions.
Extensions.
Get more extensions, then go to Google Apps.
Okay, so down the lower left,
And then search for.
lower left, get
app
more
search.
extensions.
For your desktop.
It's called app search,
In
right?
the omnibar search bar, you put what, save to Google Drive? Or is it called Evermore, or
Okay, what was the name of it? Does anybody know?
Evernote?
No, that's a different thing.
That was is that the first one you talked about?
He said it was
Dropbox.
Evernote. Save to Google Drive was in his Evernote.
Evernote web clip, Evernote web, Evernote what, Evernote
Okay,
typing tool.
Well, we
so
can
you
search
type
the
in
store.
save to Google Drive.
Can't we just search the store? It's called Evernet.
So what am I supposed to do?
Are we looking for Evernote?
Right.
No.
Evernote?
No. Save to Google Drive.
Evernote Web Clipper, Evernote Web.
Okay, now
Evernote.
save to Google Drive. Look at the screen, please.
Okay, save to Google Drive. Where
Does
would that
everybody
be?
see that? In the box, in the search box, your Omni box here, you type in save to Google Drive.
Okay,
And
save
then you hit go, and then you'll see extension, save to Google Drive.
Google Drive.
Hit free.
So I save to what?
Google Drive.
Google Drive,
Save to Google Drive. Okay, Graham.
okay?
And then it comes up home, extensions, all what?
Okay,
Apps.
Down?
Save to Google Drive apps.
it's an extension.
Extensions,
Okay, so now you add.
save to Google Drive, free.
This one here.
Okay, so here's the important thing. Please don't talk unless you have a question. Okay, don't talk just because you want to hear yourself or you don't have impulse
Okay.
control.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have something, if you have a question, ask somebody, but it's too difficult when everybody's talking. Nobody can hear or understand anything.
So which one did you say?
Save to Google Drive.
And this first one comes up with the wrench. Save. Is this that one? Free. Is that the one right here?
Correct.
Yeah, that's the one.
So click free.
So when you do this, the one you want to make sure to get is the one that is made by Google. Okay, because other people will create things that make you think it's from Google,
Yes, they
but it isn't necessarily.
All right,
So look for the one that says from Google.
got it.
Now,
Oh, and the little Google thing comes up in the corner, the drive in.
don't talk unless you have a question, please.
Okay, that's it.
Okay? Just try to stifle, just get in the habit of best practices. Because we have people in California that rightly complain that they don't get to say anything and they can't hear me because there's too many other people talking in the background. So, now, Crystal and Stephanie, does everybody have it? Hello? Is anyone there? That was my question. Is everyone, can we help you out there in California? Save to Google Drive is the extension that we want.
Okay, and we're just about done here.
Perfect, okay, great.
So give us maybe 2 more minutes.
Okay, now, okay, good. So for everyone here, let's right-click. Who doesn't have it here? Everybody, you guys have it?
Mine's in Excel already.
Good. Okay, now, let's,
That is cool.
So, Director, did you say that on the far left where it says features, we need to click by Google?
no, I'm saying when it comes up and you have a choice, like there were 2 that said save to Google Drive, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, one says save text to Google Drive.
Okay. You see it says below that from,
I'll see.
okay? From OWLC, okay? So when you're looking, this is just a best practices in the future, when you're looking for an extension or an app or something, if you have a choice of Google or someone else, the better thing is the safer thing is just to go with Google.
Yeah.
Okay? You know that there's not going to be any problems with Google. Maybe it won't be as good, but you won't have to worry about it crashing. Some of you might remember we downloaded an app. I don't remember what it was in here once before, and it turned out it didn't really work. And a box kept popping up on the screen. It wasn't a Google one. So,
The nice thing about that is it's compatible with all other Google apps, so.
Wow.
yeah, now, what I want everybody here to do is, let's see, so the idea is to test this.
Well, you know what, the top part says apps, and we're looking for the extension, so really there's not 2 choices. One's an extension.
If you get it right, a little Google Drive thing will come up in the corner, right next to your eraser.
Right.
And it also says you can add it to your phone. And I just pressed install and it added it to my phone.
Okay, yes.
What do we do after we right click on that?
If you have an Android.
Right click on what?
You said to right click after we install that.
Okay, so
Google Drive.
if you right click, what happens?
A box comes out, says open new link,
Free? Do it right now.
Windows.
And then a little
No.
drive comes up there on top.
So if you click on the extension, that is the Google Drive extension in Chrome,
Whoa.
which is up here.
Look at Tony.
I saw.
If you downloaded the app, you saw the app on your
Yeah, it's just.
screen, you left clicked it, it downloaded it, then it should be up here in your extensions. Okay. Now, if you right click on it, what happens?
If you right click, another little text box comes up on
Save
it.
to
what does
Google
it say?
Drive.
Open link in
It says-
new tab.
Save to
Open link in
Google Drive.
window.
Save to Google Drive, options, remove from Chrome, hide button, manage. Okay, that's if you right click. Now, what happens if you left click on that?
Save to Google Drive.
And I sent you the settings.
When I left click,
Yeah.
says Google Drive Chrome extension, this app would like to know who you are.
You sent me the settings.
Email and accept.
Oh, right click it.
Drive files.
Okay, so are you signed in?
We can't do it while we're on this page that says try Chrome page.
Yeah, you can't do it from that
From
page.
the app store,
Yeah, so go to your Google
Save
Plus.
to Google Drive.
Go to Google Plus. in the background. So,
Then you go to save and then.
so I'm here on Google Plus. I'm not in the App Store. And Krista, whenever you're ready, just let me know.
I want to like my Kindle reader to see if I can save it to my Google Drive.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Ed, everyone has it on their computers now.
Yeah,
Great.
got it.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So everybody's there. Now, let's test this thing. So go back over and click on Google Plus. And hopefully you should have something that looks like on my screen.
It just downloaded the video to our drive.
So do you see here, everyone? Okay. And now left click on the Google Drive extension.
Google actually for drive summary and wrap up was saved to my drive.
Right, okay. So you see what it did is it saved today's event to your drive. Now you might have had to give permission to do that the first time to accept. So Ed, from there, go to the Google Drive extension button in your upper right hand corner. Left click on that.
Okay.
Accept.
So we have to.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Very powerful tool. Now here's a way to save stuff to your drive. Did you not get it, Israel?
They didn't give me that much. Yeah, that is cool.
Okay, now
Failure.
Should we rename it or?
So now we don't have to do all that dragging around, it just goes right into the drive.
Yeah.
that would be in the drive.
Will that work with like stuff we do in Word and all that too?
Well, Word, you're not in Chrome.
Yeah, we're not in Chrome. Right.
So that's what that is. That's already.
Okay, so,
Ed,
yes.
can you repeat that regarding going into Google Plus and?
Okay, so go to your Google Plus page. And now, over in the left-hand corner, go back up and click on your Google Drive icon extension up here in the upper right.
Yes.
Yeah, mine got it.
Okay.
And when we're going to click on it.
So you click on it, and now that's going to start the process of saving it to your drive. Well, I'm talking to the people in California, Fred. Okay, and then you'll see a box pops up, and it will save it.
Yeah, I know it's giving me.
Okay, so what's the value of this?
What's the value? Every time you're looking at something on Google searches, click that, and it'll save it right to your
Yeah,
drive.
whatever site you're on, you can.
Correct.
Okay,
save it right
look,
to your phone.
you say click that on, I clicked it on, it says right here.
You
Google
have to
Chrome
accept.
Okay, press accept.
So
Okay,
do not-
so here's an important best practices for everyone. If we're installing a file or loading an app or installing an app or a program or anything, and you start the process and then it says accept, accept. Okay, don't ask whether you should accept, okay? Because we're trying to load the app or the program or whatever it is.
So,
And sometimes I forget to say every single step.
Yeah.
so this little thing that it says cannot capture Chrome pages, try a standard web page, because I did not accept it, correct?
Well, or what is on the background? Are you on the Google Plus?
I went back, excuse me, I'm sorry, I went back to the thing, because I wanted to make sure I have it, but I do. So,
You
I
can't-
don't think it's right.
You cannot store or save the Google Chrome.
You have this on your phone already?
Yeah.
That is so
I got
cool.
everything, so what's the?
Okay, I'm
Okay,
on
so the
Google
point
Plus.
is, now, whenever you are on, whatever you're looking at on the internet, if it's of interest to you,
Like yesterday when I was doing the research.
you can save it to a drive. Now, let's see about, somebody go to YouTube.
All right, I will.
Let's test to see whether you can save a YouTube video.
All right. And then I'll do TED Talk.
Well, let's do something easy and go to YouTube.
I will. I got a TED Talk. I'll do Amanda,
Okay, I got it now.
Amy Cuddy. Boom. Amy Cuddy, no watch. Boom. I clicked it, and it says uploading Amy Cuddy to your Google Drive. It's uploaded.
Okay.
That quick.
Okay, so just discovered that you can save YouTube videos to your drive.
Go to. So do you need to create a folder? Or
It will
go
save it to the
YouTube?
drive. You will then have to move it to where you want it to go. So now, does anyone still think that getting 5 terabytes is way too much?
Where does it show up at on your drive?
No, no, you can have
It'll
videos.
show up in my
Download.
drive.
Yeah, be ready for your download.
Okay, I want to.
Now, say I was in my
Was saved to my
drive.
drive.
Wait, talk only if you have a question, please.
It's it.
If I was in my drive and there was something I wanted to share, like on Facebook, how do I share something from my drive onto Facebook instead of Google Plus?
How do you save it? Well,
Share
that's a Facebook question.
from my
I don't
Google
know.
Drive?
You just go right here where it
Well,
says share.
If you're trying to share it onto Facebook, that would be a Facebook question, and I don't know anything
All you
about
do is
Facebook.
press share, and it'll pop up Facebook, whatever you want to share
No,
it to.
from your
Watch.
drive,
Share.
not
No.
YouTube.
Okay, so Dodie's talking about something different.
I'm
Okay, so we
talking
don't
about
do
sharing
Facebook here.
something- No.
Okay.
but-
You want to share it to Facebook.
Here, I'll see if it shared to Google Plus.
You know,
Okay, Scott,
something
please.
other than Google Plus, you know, like Twitter, if you want to share something from your drive to Twitter.
I thought I saw
Okay,
before
well, you
that
have to
Jesus
know how to
said
do
it
that
does.
in Twitter or Facebook.
Let's try it.
But I don't want to share from Twitter to my drive, I want to
I
share from my
understand,
drive
but
to.
usually what happens is you go into an application, you say, I want to share it, and they say, well, what do you want to share? So you go to your drive and say, well, here's what I want to share. Or you go to your desktop and say, here's what I want to share.
It's so easy.
Where do you want to pull it from? Now, on other apps, like Scott was probably pointing out, in YouTube,
Look at you, just press share, and it comes up every single thing you can share it with.
yeah,
Google
so
Plus,
if you're in
Facebook, Twitter.
YouTube, let's say Google Apps Drive,
I just shared it to Google Plus. I will see if it comes up. It came up, of course it did. I'm not even gonna
Alright,
check.
I just found out that when you do share, like a video, it just shares.
It's not gonna share it to the drive, it'll share it to
okay,
the
Scott,
share.
wait, let's, remember, there's people in California that are trying to follow along.
I shared a video to my drive and then I went back to my drive to review it and all it has is, it won't play the video.
Well, that's probably because you have to play it in a thing, but let's go back to your initial question.
Okay.
Under share. So if you look up there, here's a YouTube video going on, and that's how I would share the video, right? I click on
Right.
share.
But I want to share it from my drive, not from YouTube.
Well, it didn't really work that way. The
Okay.
drive is where it's stored. That would be like saying, I want to just go from my hard drive to share it with something else.
Okay.
Okay, it's just storage.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to go into your Twitter or your Facebook and find the file, and the file is on your drive. You know, what is it you want to share? Okay, now, the next thing Dodie said is, in order to, okay, I've stored a YouTube video on my computer, it doesn't just play. Well, you need to have a player to play it from. Okay, so you might have to download the file to your computer. But my hunch is there's an extension in Google, that there's a Google extension that you can put on your cloud and play it right from the cloud. Would be my hunch.
Upload
Can
our
we
video
find that?
downloader?
Hmm?
Do we have to upload our video downloader?
Well, my hunch is there is a thing that you don't have to upload. It's just right for playing a video right from your drive, would be my hunch. But now, so in other words, Dodie, I think what you have to do is download that file and then play it from the computer through your Windows Media Player or something else.
That's right, the only thing that does come up.
So I wonder what the name of that app would be called.
On there.
I don't know, but let's get focused because we've got 6 minutes left on Google Drive, and we want to make sure everybody has it. So in California, do you have a question on Google Drive? Or is everybody drinking the Kool-Aid that this is just a fantastic thing that we're going to use every day? In California.
Fernando is chanting Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid.
Okay, so Fernando, I'm glad to see that you're there today, Fernando. You're doing a great job of posting videos. Of posting stuff on Google+. We have a project that we would like you to think about that could be good for everybody in the school. How many people here would like to be in the fast food business?
Fast food?
Yeah.
Boy, there's a lot of people.
Of owning your own fast food franchise.
Oh, no, that I'm with.
Yeah, own one, yeah.
Wouldn't mind, but that's something.
I can open my own
Okay.
A little bit more healthier.
Okay, so, when we're thinking about the future and things are not getting better, this isn't like the 50s and 60s where every year people are buying new cars, people are buying homes. What's becoming popular is dollar stores, payday loans. It's how to squeeze the most out of what you have. People are working more, getting less. The poverty line is going up. The number of people living below the poverty line is going down. The number of people in prison and parole and jail continues to rise. Life is not getting better as we know it. The world is less safe, etc. So what is a thing to do that will provide you safety and security in the future?
Become your own business owner.
Well, become your own business owner, but what kind of business?
Something that's always needed.
Something that's always needed. What do people always need to do?
Eat.
Eat.
Commodity. They need to take baths.
Food is good business.
Well, people don't really need to take baths.
They need to eat. Some do.
People need to eat. Most people like to eat at least 3 times a day. So, the idea for the future would be an inexpensive place to eat where you get food that tastes good but it's cheap. Okay? And what would that be, Fernando? Okay, what's cheaper than that? Tacos. What's cheaper and easier than tacos?
Sandwiches.
No, there's too many moving parts.
Cornflakes.
Cornflake, no, too hard to make.
Cheaper and easier than tacos.
Hot dog.
Hamburgers.
French fries, no. Fernando, I heard you talking about this a couple weeks ago. You were talking about how you like to cook it. Not chicken livers.
Good question.
You want something that easy is nothing.
No, potato chips are not.
What's the easiest thing to serve somebody?
Sandwich.
What is a food?
Pretzels.
Peanuts.
No.
Are you talking about chicken, Ed?
About what? Cheesesteaks?
No, chicken.
No, not chicken. Let's say when things continue to go down, it's inexpensive food that can be healthy for you, that's really cheap, and it's easy to make. Easy to make, and you can have a lot of different variations.
Soy and greens.
People don't like salad.
What if they,
You need to have
you can't get a grow
salad. You need to have
You gotta
refrigeration.
grow it too.
Potato.
No preparation and no
What you gonna use?
Close. Potatoes are close.
Beans.
Popsicle stand.
Beans.
It's close to beans, but it's not beans. Rice.
Right.
So
They got that.
some people associated with the school are starting to form something called a fast food chain called Right on Rice.
Okay.
White on rice.
No, Right on Rice. So this is, rice is inexpensive, it's easy to make, but you can have a lot of different flavors and varieties,
Super
right?
healthy.
And if you have the right kind of rice, it's very healthy, especially some of these exotic grains.
Jasmine rice. Jasmine.
Long grain.
Okay.
brown rice.
You can have
Forbidden rice.
all kinds of different rice. So
Like
we are investigating it with them, the school is, because it could be a good way to put people in business for themselves.
I'm down with that.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Unless I'm doing my own luggage shop.
And your overhead would be
Right,
very
right,
little.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
What about putting a smoke shop?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested in.
All right, so now, any other questions in California? But Fernando, we need you to come up with recipes for the rice.
Oh, I could do
I
that.
got one good.
Okay, what is your question, Jamie?
How do we improvise this how do we use it?
You have to ask Brian.
Okay,
We'll talk about that after the break.
I got one extra.
Jamie, basically, anything that you have that you're looking at on the internet, you can save to your drive.
You click that little diamond.
Okay, just click the diamond, that's what I
Boom.
want.
Yeah.
I just tried it. It saved it
Okay.
automatically.
So in California, does anybody have a question?
So, thank you for our cards, Ed.
Well, thank Sherry and thank Rose.
Someone thank Rose.
Rose did the hard part.
No, Ed, there aren't any other questions.
Okay, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you Monday. I'm not sure which app we're going to do, but we'll see you Monday.
Look at this.
Bye.
Bye.